Welcome to the Sonic Shaman Show, home of the Coffee Connect and Conscious Connections. The show is dedicated to empowering you to perceive, know, be, and express your unique voice in this world without the fear of judgment of others through healing, coaching, and educational services. In each episode, Hank and his guests offer tools, techniques, and inspiration to help you step into your potency. Now, here is your host, Hank Setala.
Good morning, everyone. I am so excited, as I've had so many times before, to have Heather MacMillian on with me. She's a certified facilitator of Access Consciousness, and this is really going to become the Power of Possibilities podcast. I haven't gotten a new video yet. But Heather, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you. And today our topic is the mantra of access. So important that you can see I actually have it on the wall behind me.
Yes.
All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And before we dive into that, do you want to just give a little bit of an overview of what Access Consciousness is for people who might be tuning in for the first time?
Well, Access Consciousness is a set of tools and techniques and processes designed to empower you to know that you know, and that you can create what you'd really like to have as your life, what would be really fun for you.
Yeah, in fact, the founder of Access, Gary Douglas, that's what started it all, was him just asking the question, what would I like my life to look like?
Yeah.
And learning the skill of you ask a question, and then as you go throughout your life, you just kind of notice things, and you notice that they match the question that you ask. And it's almost like following energetic breadcrumbs, except it's way more integrated than that, following these little things that will start to create the possibility in your life.
Yeah, and they're the shortcuts from the universe, really, of what's the universe trying to show us that would make everything easier and greater for us.
And also a reminder for everyone, we love for there to be interaction.
Yes.
So even though
what are your comments?
And I say that, and then someone just made a comment. We have Megan saying good morning. Good morning,
Megan.
And if you're watching, depending where you are, we see comments if it's on my profile, on my Facebook page, and my YouTube channel. Anywhere else, we might not see them. So if we're ignoring you, we're not trying to ignore you. Just make sure the best place to comment is really on the YouTube channel. I know from there all the comments roll in. So if you'd like to participate or ask a question, please do that. But what is, and I noticed that when we just did the How to Become Money workbook, which is one of the books, the original books that kind of started the founding for Access, pun intended, that it was actually in there that Rasputin was bringing that through about life coming to you with ease and joy and glory. Do you want to give a little bit of the history of the phrase and where it came from?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the mantra of Access Consciousness. And we also talk about it in the first class of Access, which is Access Bars, which Hank facilitates. I facilitate these classes as well. And if you say this mantra 10 times in the morning and 10 times in the evening, it starts to invite more and more of that energy into your life. And I'm actually curious, what is that created, having it painted on the wall of the center?
You know, it's funny, like people will come in and they'll just kind of be drawn to it and they'll be looking at it because you're not used to seeing stuff like on the wall like that. And in fact, originally we were going to be putting up other little sayings and things above doors, but we never got to it. But people really seem to be drawn to it. They're like, well, what's this about? And then it invites a conversation about access.
Yeah. And I've even heard Gary, the founder of Access, say, like, put it on a mirror, put it, different little places in your house. What would that reminder create in your life? I mean, for me, I started saying it 100 times a day, like, maybe this time last year. And I loved saying it with chores, things that are kind of mundane, like emptying the dishwasher or, putting out the recyclables or whatever. I, just say all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, or all of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory, whichever one is the most relaxing to you. But I notice even as I say it, it's so relaxing.
And I believe I heard on a call, maybe you caught it, they were saying that this phrase actually is kind of a wake-up call to
Yeah.
certain types of people that would be referred to in Access as humanoid. So if you were drawn to this topic, this might be the reason why. Because all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. That is how life is supposed to show up. And people
Yeah.
who we call humanoids or intuitives, people like this, they have this knowing, and the saying just makes sense to them. And it's almost like this this attraction to this statement. And that might be because you know that this is how it's supposed to be. So why isn't it working?
Yeah. I mean, haven't we all known that there's a way that life could be more easy, more joyful, and more glorious? And glory, it's kind of an old-fashioned word. It means, exuberant, abundance in all things. It's that energy of celebration. And don't we all know that life could have a whole lot more of that? What would we have to be and do different today to invite in all of life to come to us with ease and joy and glory?
Yeah, and you bring up my favorite thing about Access is the emphasis on asking questions, and not the question of why. That's not the why question is like the victim question of the universe, but really like, what energy would it take? What choices could I make today? What energy could I be today to invite this experience into my world? And when you just leave it like that, you don't look for an answer, but all of a sudden, like, you start to get awarenesses that, hey, maybe I need to, go buy these clothes. I don't know why, but maybe there's like these things that don't seem to make any sense, but yet hold the energy for you to step into the space for you to start experiencing it.
Yeah, I mean, and then things start to show up differently when you ask questions, because a question empowers. When we're asking a question to ourselves or others, and we ask a lot of those in Access classes, a question empowers, an answer disempowers, an answer or a conclusion. I mean, an example of conclusion would be, oh, this isn't working, instead of a question, which would be, okay, well, what is this? What do I do with it? Can I change it? If so, how do I change it?
And that is a huge thing. I got a lot of tools from Joy of Business, which is an amazing book by Simone Milasas. I might be mispronouncing her name, but especially in business, or your life is kind of like a business, just to kind of create a parallel for it. But when you're in definition conclusion, there's no space for possibility because you've already created the box that everything fits in. And that's what a conclusion is. That's what a definition is. But if you say, what else is possible? It's like you just rip the box open, and now there's all these other possibilities that can occur because now you're out of definition, out of conclusion, and you're really in the space of unlimited possibility, all from starting to ask questions, or be very mindful about what questions you ask, I should say, because there are some questions that might not create more possibility. But in general, the question is really what's going to start bringing the energy to you to start shifting your life.
Yeah, and I mean, those questions that you mentioned are actually, for a lot of people, conclusions with a question mark attached. like, why is my life so hard is not what we're talking about as a question. What would it take to have more ease, joy, and glory in my life is a question. And notice that they each have a different energy to them. And when we ask these questions, we're also not looking to arrive at an answer. It's more getting that energetic, and Dr. Dain Heer, the co-creator of Access, works in this realm of the energetics of when we ask these questions, what energy is that? And if we chose more things that matched that energy, what could we create as our life and our living and our business? Wow.
Yeah. And when we talk about following the energy, just to kind of go back to that, when Gary Douglas first asked that question, what would he like his life to look like? He had a request to do a channeling session. At the time, he did a lot of like mediumship work to channel for a massage therapist. And what he said is he knew that this request from this person matched the energy of what would I like my life to look like. And that's what you're kind of paying attention to. Everything is a vibration. Everything is a frequency. Once you've asked a question, what are you noticing in your life that is kind of shining, or you're just noticing more than others? And those are the things that you start to pay attention to and dive into. And really the main trick to this part is you have to show up. No autopilot. The autopilot of your life needs to be put on pause and show up, because it's you who has to notice these things. Because if you just start coasting through life, you might have had all these different possibilities that just passed you because you just weren't paying attention to them.
Yeah, and that's where it's really funny, like what what definitions do we have of what showing up is? And I love what you just mentioned about showing up. It's actually choosing to be aware of those whispers of the universe, those gifts from the universe, where the universe is looking to contribute to us.
And just a note for everyone, this is a shorter stream today, just 15 minutes, because I gotta wake up it's express possibilities today.
Yes.
So if you do have questions, if you do have comments, please ask them now. We got about 5 minutes or so left. We could go a little bit over, but
possible?
I gotta wake up my son for school. So. But we also found that I think that like these 15-minute streams seem to create a lot more potential, because some people, when they see a video that's like an hour long, they're like, I don't have time to watch that.
Yeah,
but 15 minutes, be like, I have time for that much possibility in my life. What would it take for you to have more time for more possibility in your life?
Yeah, exactly.
And I know you just tell us a little bit off topic. Yesterday was a class called Global Bars.
Not off topic at all. Wow. Talk about a day of ease, joy, and glory.
And so Global Bars and Global Foundation, for everybody that knows, is like once a year. One reason Access is so potent in the world and has so much possibility is they literally recreate themselves every year. They meet together with all the certified facilitators, what has been showing up in your world, what's going on. They rewrite the manuals based on what the facilitators' feedback is of what's showing up in the world. And one of the classes that just occurred is Global Bars, where they're literally looking at the bars, what's happening in the bars world throughout the year. How was the class? What was the theme of energy that was coming up?
Well, it was amazing. There were apparently over 500 of us online around the world, and quite a number of people in the room with Brendan Watt, the facilitator of the class, in Mexico. And it was beautiful in that it was kind of like a master's class, in that so many people on the stream and in the class were already facilitators of this. And then they were asking the questions that were kind of the next level of, I've been doing this for years, or I see this with clients, or I've always wondered about this. It was those types of questions. And it was a mini advanced access class as well. And a whole day, like Brendan was facilitating the class. He ran 4 sessions on stage, and they did some really amazing camera work, some still shots to show us. So if you had never seen someone run bars before, you really got an immersion in one day. And if you had a partner at home or you were in the room, you got to experience 4 sessions. So, oh my gosh, what a day it was. It was amazing.
Awesome. Well, I'm still thinking I might buy it, because you can get the class and just watch the video. But just yesterday didn't work out for me to take it live. And if that kind of class sounds interesting for anyone that's watching today, on May 13th, Heather will be in Cleveland teaching it in person.
Oh, I'm so excited to have my feet on the ground in Cleveland, where I was born. I'm so excited about this. And each access class is created with the energy of the people in it. And so it was exciting for me to be in a bars class yesterday. And I'm so excited to be facilitating with all of you who will be coming to the class in May. How much fun can we have?
Yeah. Now, we do have a question for Megan, and she was asking, what questions are the best to ask again? So there's a couple of questions that we could recommend for people just starting on the world of questioning the universe to create possibility. Well, one I think Heather always says is, what question could we be? What question could we ask?
A question about a question.
Yeah. But truly, like when you don't know, like that is a great, like what question could I ask here that would create a different possibility, and see what percolates up. You'll be surprised at how quickly an awareness may come to you about what question you could ask. And then there's a whole slew of other questions. Let me get my little banners right. My favorite, how does it get any better than this?
Yeah.
And this is like the upward spiral question. Like, even if you just stubbed your toe or you just won the lottery, you go to, how does it get any better than this? And the universe puts into motion some sort of experience that will show you how it gets better. And then my other favorite, what else is possible?
Yeah.
That is like, instead of saying, why isn't my life working? You say, what else is possible? And just really feel the difference in the energy of the questions. And let's see. Another one that I love. what can I be to create something different?
Yeah.
And let's see if I have any other programmed in here. Any other favorites that you have that I might not have on my little banner?
Who am I and what grand? I mean, this is a good one because it's so early here on the East Coast. If you're in Europe, your day is well underway. But or if you're on the Pacific Coast, you're maybe still in bed. Who am I and what grand and glorious adventures am I going to have today is the first one I say when I wake up in the morning. I love that.
In the mornings, I kind of rotate through. One of the ones I often go to is, what would it take for me to have more of me today than any day before? And by me, I'm talking about the full, unrestrained, authentic you. Like, what would it take for me to show up more today as my authentic self than any day prior to today? And those things just set the tone for the whole day. How much more magic could I have in my life today? If you want more magic.
Oh, I love that question. Yes, magical stuff.
So anything like that. But we're at the 15-minute mark, so I want to thank everyone. Yeah, see, it just flew by. At 2 minutes, I have to wake up Max, otherwise we keep going. But as schedule shifts and things, we will do longer streams. We'll also do these shorter ones. Maybe we'll hop on in the evening here and there. Heather and I are just more morning people for streaming, I think. Because in the evening, the kids aren't in school. They're running around and it's hard to get good quality audio during the evening sometimes for me. But anyway, thank you all for being here, and we will catch you next time. Maybe we'll figure out. We'll post when the next stream is going to be as soon as we figure it out. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us today for the show. The Sonic Shaman is part of the Emergence of Being Contributor Network. Visit emergenceofbeing.com to learn about all the contributors and learn about our services and upcoming events. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. You can contribute to the show by supporting our efforts and sharing our content with those you care about and those who need it most.